The other thing, and I know we're skipping ahead a little bit, but for law firms that may be interesting with these security deposits is that they're kind of connected to these good guy guarantees that are out there.
Yeah, let's talk about that. That's that's on our agenda to talk about, so now's as good a time as any.
I mean, I just think that, you know, the issue in my mind with law firms is that landlords realize that when they're leasing to a law firm, essentially what they're doing is they're leasing to a collection of partners, right? Mm-hmm. And if you're signing a 5-year lease or a 10-year lease, and if the business is doing well, but you know some of the partners leave, you know, then things can change very radically. I mean, there was a story many years ago. There's a firm that, and you know, there are a lot of stories like this in the law world, but there was a firm many years ago called Battle Fowler.
I actually interviewed there.
Is that right? Yeah. So, and Battle Fowler at one time had like 10 floors on Park Avenue. And the story with Battle Fowler was that they had one partner who was an aging partner, but that was just a massive rainmaker. And I know it sounds crazy to have a firm of that size, but essentially most of the business, like 70% of the business, was tied to this one partner. And, you know, obviously he's advancing in age, he had killed the buffalo, made a lot of money and so forth, and, you know, really didn't want to, you know, be hustling every second like he had been for the last 40 years probably, right? And he started to like wind it down. And the whole thing started, the wheels just started to come off the bus of this massive firm. And then I think, if memory serves me, that they ended up merging with Paul Hastings. And so that was like the way that they fixed it. But so, you know, ultimately that's what landlords worry about, right? And so what they do is they ask the partners of the law firm to sign a good guy guarantee, right? And a good guy guarantee is essentially a limited guarantee which allows the landlord to personally go after the partners in the event that they stop paying their rent and that they continue to remain in the premises. So the idea there, and I know that with law firms it's more complicated because you know, the LLP and now the PLL, is it
PLC.
PLLC structure is different than an Inc. or a LLC structure, but ultimately the you know, the concept is that they're able to pierce whatever LLP or PLLC structure there exists in the within the firm and go after individual partners. Now, the way to mitigate that is you've got to allow a landlord to ask for this, because if you don't sort of say, all right, I'll do it, then they're going to increase your security deposit. Mm-hmm. And what they're worried about is that, and many of the lawyers that are watching probably know this, but the courts in New York are just ridiculously liberal. I mean, to the degree where, and I've seen this, I mean, I've had clients with major, you know, multi-billion-dollar landlords that have held over for, you know, 10 months, 11 months, a year, and they, you know, they pay an attorney maybe $10,000, $12,000, and maybe their rent's a couple of $100,000, so they're saving all kinds of dough. And the judge keeps saying, give them a little more time. It really takes a long time to throw somebody out of a space. And so as a result, that's why these good guy guarantees exist. I don't personally have a problem with them unless they have lots of nasty tails on them, which oftentimes they do. And you've just got to read, you know, you've really got to read the individual guarantee.